Hi, everyone out there in YouTube land. I hope you guys are doing well today. Ladies, I guess this is directed more towards us girls, if you're out there. So, we're living in really weird times. That's the only way I really kind of know to put it. The world is changing really quickly and it's deteriorating. And I can see it, and I know you can too. And I know that, I know you can probably feel it. And, I was not always in YouTube. Once I started checking out YouTube and looking up things I was interested in, I kind of fell into the prepping community. And I guess because it's more like homesteading, and I grew up on a farm, so it really appealed to me uh, to kind of go ahead and be prepared, right? And have everything that you need. And I made a lot of videos last year, and I've removed a lot of them. And because I really feel like the preppers, I don't really have any business telling anybody how to prep, because that community is um, definitely has the people in it that are well more versed in that, but than I will ever probably be in that capacity. But what I wanted to address was, um, you know, I'm never going to be able to probably stop talking about the violence in our society. And I'm going to try and keep this video really quick. I want to go live tomorrow, and I don't have any mods, so I don't really know quite how that's going to play out. Um, I don't know if that's a good idea or not. But okay, so here's what happened. Ladies, if y'all have noticed, all of the channels are talking about the violence and, being followed home from the grocery store, and um, just the general criminal element that's escalating. And, that's for a lot of different reasons. Um, but I would say really most of it is people are out of work, the stimulus checks aren't coming, um, and the dynamic has changed. The dynamic has just changed in our world. And everyone is on edge. And I notice in the way people are driving too, but a lot of road rage. So we really need to keep ourselves protected. And here's what I've noticed. Even though I have survived a really terribly violent crime, I'm still really vulnerable in a lot of ways. I think everybody is. Um, just because you've lived through one and you've overcome one, or you're still, it's still going to come up for you, uh, that doesn't mean that you're going to be immune to that ever happening again. Um, you know, that doesn't mean that you know that you're never going to be victimized again. And as a matter of fact, it can almost put you back in that situation even more because of what it does to you, how it derails you. And so if you're feeling like you're the only one that's afraid and fearful, and that, just because you have a weapon, that doesn't mean that everything goes away. That doesn't mean because you are carrying a weapon that everything is just, all of your threats are going to go away. As a matter of fact, you really don't ever want to have to use that weapon, in my opinion. However, I think you have to be prepared mentally, psychologically to use it. And you can't get so used to having something that when the situation arises that you're so comfortable with it that you've forgotten that you have it, and you don't go to that muscle memory, that you lose that muscle memory. So it's really a daily I don't want to say it's a struggle, but it's a challenge. It's a challenge to keep yourself safe, right, in my opinion, right now. We kind of lived in a bubble for a while there, and um, some of us did, some of us didn't. Um, So here's something I wanted to share with you, and if I can go live tomorrow, I will. I uh, almost every day now I'm having an encounter of some kind. That's sorry, that's my dog. I'm having an encounter, and I have a really I have a very protective, several protective animals here. Now that I'm glad that I do. So here's what's been happening. I went to the grocery store, and I was leaving. I was in my car, and in the parking lot there was a homeless man, and I felt sorry for him, and I thought, well, let me be charitable here and offer him some money. That was the stupidest thing that I could have ever done. Okay, I should have never done that, because do you know what happened? This would only happen to me, but no, it can happen to you too, whether you're a man or a woman. I rolled the passenger side window down. Big no-no. Don't do that. Ever, ever, for anyone, period. I guess unless it's law enforcement. Now, I did that, and I was in a crowded parking lot, and there were people around, driving around. In fact, there were people behind me. I had stopped traffic. I mean, I had pulled over a little bit, and it was by a Goodwill dump, kind of like by a Goodwill dumpster. And so I had pulled over a little bit. Well, I didn't realize that he was mentally completely insane. He looked like, excuse me, I have allergies today. He wasn't dressed that badly, and I asked him if he needed some money, and he said no. He said he went on and on and on about these idiots, and I thought he was talking about people in, you know, our government, right? Well, see, right there, it had already gone too far. I should have never let any of that happen. He said he didn't want my money. He wanted to know, he got really aggressive, and he wanted to know my phone number, where I lived, when I was coming back, how could he get hold of me? And he stuck his head inside the car. He was a large man. I didn't realize how big he was. And he got aggressive. And as I was trying to drive off because it scared me, I forgot I had my weapon with me. I forgot I had it. Um, and some of that has to do with having other health issues that a lot of us, I think, are dealing with long term if we've been exposed to, and I'm not going to say the name of it on YouTube. So I started speeding off, trying to get away, and he clung on to my door. He threw himself onto my car, and I put the gas on it, and he was running alongside it, and he would not let go. And finally, I got up to probably about 6, 7 miles per hour because he was running along with the cart. He had a major grip on it. He finally let go, and he got really angry, and he turned on me. Like, he was kind of acting, he went from a nice to aggressive, harmless to aggressive to raging and angry. And I drove home another way. I didn't go home the same way. And I'm sharing you that story because I'm sure a lot of people out there are going to go, "You are such a stupid idiot." But you know what? I'm human, and I have a lot of compassion, and I let the heartstrings get me. And I started thinking, okay, you know, I felt bad. I felt bad. And the heartstrings can really get you in a lot of trouble. So I should have never asked. I will never do that again. In fact, what I realized he needed, and I guess he was trying to tell me, he was unmedicated schizophrenic, clearly. I mean, he was in another world, but it didn't come off that way at first. So he really needed his medication. And honest to God, he needed institutionalizing. But I know that's a very difficult, back in my day, people were in institutions and like that to that degree, but it's very difficult for people with that type of mental illness to keep anybody caged up like that. And I feel terrible that people have that issue because he was aware he was mentally ill, but I wanted to put it out there about that whole charitable thing because I'm hearing a lot of stations, you got to be careful who you listen to. I'm hearing a lot of stations guilt people about not being charitable and asking for donations. And, I'm sure that's fine for them. And that's probably the safer way to give, truthfully, is maybe electronically to somebody like, you know, I don't know how the homeless community, and I know he's not the representative of the entire homeless community because I know there's a lot of homeless people that are working and living out of their car or in those homeless encampments. So I don't think he is, I know good and well that he is not the poster child for homeless people, houseless people. But women, okay, I guess I should really say that for us, I would say because of what I have been through, um, don't ever offer, and this goes for offering women too. I've seen some really aggressive women that were on the streets. You know, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm not ever doing it again. And if I have to take it day by day, then I'm going to take it day by day. Today, I'm not going to offer. I don't have that. I don't have any money really to give away. I don't. Um, the last grocery bill, the last grocery bill was enough to set me back for a really long time. In fact, whatever little food that I have put away, I'm going to have to learn how to get creative with some things because this is ridiculous. Um, it's just ridiculous. That's all I have to say, but it's a reality. And so, you know, I've simplified my diet, really simplified it. And I do go to bed a little hungry, and I do that because, you know, for one thing, I'm just not so sure. I'm not sure what's going to happen here. I'm not. And maybe I'm way overly sensitive and in tune to, or just, I'm just way too in tune with it, or I've heard too many videos. But to me, it just looks like, you know, we're being cut off. And I know about the bigger picture, believe me. So I wanted to put it out there, ladies. Um, don't let anyone guilt you into giving them money. I don't care who it is. This is not the time to do that. And I had to be reminded. I had to be reminded. Now, another thing happened to me. I'm at 13:30. Okay, that's fine. I guess people, you know what? I'm making longer video. I make longer videos. I'm not following a formula here on YouTube. Um, I definitely am just gonna, I'm my own person here. And there's other people that are more qualified to tell you how to do so many other things. But I can tell you, definitely about violent crime and surviving it. And really, for many years, not surviving it so great and still dealing with the ramifications of it. So, and I'm not so sure that this isn't my spiritual test, right? And I want to get it right. And it's really hard to do that. It's really hard to get it right. It just really can be. So I was coming home, and if I go live tomorrow, I'm going to talk about it again. Um, I hope that some people will show up that I can get to be a moderator, or I'm not sure how to do it. If it's appropriate to ask another creator, about all that. But anyway, okay. So I was coming home, and I'm home a lot. Okay, I just for many reasons. We live in a neighborhood that's just not so. It's scary, you know. And I think all neighborhoods are kind of scary, to tell you the truth. America is pretty scary right now. The bad neighborhoods are everywhere. So, I'm kind of over that part of it. But I'm not over someone basically, I'm going to say bum rushing me, but I made a quick trip to, I don't remember where now. God, where did I go? That's one of the lovely after effects of you know what, the bug, the flu. So, anyway, I had gotten out of the vehicle. I was on my porch and I saw we have a street where all the gangs and like Section 8 and everything live. And that's typically where most of the crime happens in our little area. And he was walking down the street and he was kind of dressed like this guy was not on his way to work, let's put it that way. He was, kind of a heavy set male and he had a white towel around his neck. And I went to go, I started getting that, oh my God, this guy's, and he looked right at me. And I thought, I'm not going to be able to get in the house quick enough. I mean, I really just didn't think I was going to be able to get in the house quickly enough. He was walking very purposefully and he was walking towards me. And I thought, gosh, this is why I don't leave the house anymore. That's why I don't go anywhere anymore. And I thought, okay, God, please give it to me to get the right keys out at the right time. I had my keys in my hand, but I didn't know if I had the right key. And I do carry a weapon once again because I'm so used to it and I'm so comfortable with it that I failed to go ahead and possibly seat my hand, or have it ready. And I was more worried about getting into the house. And that posture of doing that and that process of doing that, I looked like a victim. I looked like, when the rabbit takes off, I looked like I started feeling that prey feeling, that anxiety. Instead, what I should have done was stopped and told him to get back very firmly and authoritatively and possibly seat my hand on my weapon. Because he was moving way too quickly and he had me in his crosshairs. And whether or not he would have done anything, I don't know. I've never seen this man. I've definitely been here long enough to know if I had recognized him, I would have recognized him. But people right now are very transitory, transient. And living situations are changing, they're not working out, and people are houseless, and this is a absolutely horrific situation we're in. So, I just cannot sit back after having survived what I've survived and not share with you some things, gentle reminders to be aware. Now, I'm going at 19 minutes, I'm going to stop here in just a little bit. If you're recovering from an illness and you're just out, you're not as sharp, possibly, you're not moving as quickly, you're not as alert. Those are things you really have to take into consideration and possibly have somebody else go and do some of the things for you and ask for help. I would say, you don't have to take yourself totally out of the picture, but if you've been sidelined or, you're going through something, you've got to retrain. You have to train. you have to keep training, which means that you have to keep handling or practicing with whatever it is that you're going to use to protect yourself and possibly, I don't want to say probably, possibly defend your life, protect yourself, to protect your life. Because these are very dangerous. This is a very dangerous era, and I just don't think we've seen the half of it yet. Not everyone's on the same page with me. However, the people that weren't are starting to see. And when I was in the store, the shelves were bare. Uh, the bill was $300. And I got some paper towels, just the regular stuff, some butter, a couple of things of yogurt, no specialty items. The produce was pretty bad. I'm sitting here thinking I'd have to go look at my receipt, but that's my last trip to the grocery store. Everything I'm going to use now is stuff that I have homesteaded, is stuff that I have stocked up. And truthfully, it's not that much. It's really not. It's nothing, you know, and not only that, it means that I'm going to have to switch my diet around. And those are things, to take into consideration. It's either that or starve to death, or fish or hunt. And I'm open to hunting. So that's kind of something that I don't want to do, but that's something that I'm probably eventually going to have to go ahead and face reality. There are deer leases that you can go on to and all of that kind of thing. And I was raised around it. My dad was a hunter, and so I can fish. I haven't really ever killed anything, but when it comes to meat, deer meat is one of my favorite things, and I hate the idea of having to do that. Um, and I really hope it just doesn't totally come down to that. But I can tell you right now that the meat at our grocery store, I mean, it's just, it's bad. And I just kind of feel like I've been failing the test a lot lately in terms of personal security. So that's something I'm working on, and I hope that you will take it into consideration. Ladies, if there are any women listening to me out there, once an offender gets into your car or is hanging off of your car or has his head in the car, just put the pedal to the dang metal. And I don't care. I had to speed off to get that guy off my car. And I was right there in a very crowded parking lot, and that was my fault for doing that. So other channels are always saying, be charitable, be charitable. Well, I grew up hearing about charity. Charity began in the home. Charity begins in the home, right? Charity begins in the home. And you can be charitable with your family and your friends, but you know, you got to watch it. You guys, you just really got to watch it. And anyway, it's 24 minutes. I guess those that want to hang are going to be here. Those that aren't are going to bail. Anyway, to all of y'all that have watched my videos, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching my films. I really appreciate it. I love you guys wherever you are on the planet or on the earth. I really do. I pray you're safe. I pray you have enough food to eat. I pray that you're in a good situation and that you feel safe. I just pray so hard that you feel safe. And if there's any topics you want me to cover about personal safety, let me know. If not, it's okay. It's cool. I love you guys very much. Thank you and God bless.